Prepare yourselves for a battle of epic proportions between two titans. Feast upon their voices and revel in their words. This is Dueling Ogres.
Hello, Ogres, and welcome to episode 74. Thank you for joining us, as always, on this Bigelow Sunday evening, Earth date April 3rd, 2016. I'm your host, Remington Hitchcock, and with me, as always, my co-host, Brandon Full. Say hello, Brandon.
Hello, Remington.
Say hello, Danny.
Oh!
There's Danny, right over there. Hey, we're back after, 3 fucking weeks. 2 weeks of not...
We went 2 weeks without recording, so
Yes.
This would be, if we missed this week, this would be third week we would
Right,
go
so
without.
we've got 2 weeks of no recording, but we're back with a vengeance.
Yes.
See, I feel like you're just setting them up for failure.
God, I hope so. I think if you are 74 episodes in now and you don't know that this is a complete crapshoot of a podcast and it falls flat on its face every time, then you've been listening to the wrong show for 74 episodes.
Look, I was prepared to record last week on Sunday.
Right.
On Easter.
On Easter.
Yeah, like
because nobody has...
Yeah, who the hell
Who does
that?
shit all day on Easter, though? You didn't. Neither of you guys did shit all day on Easter.
Yeah, did.
Really? What'd you do? Give me a layout of your fucking Easter
You
day.
want to know my
Danny.
Easter?
Yes.
You want to know my Easter? Okay. My Easter started off. I woke up at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
I went to church at 11 o'clock. Didn't get out of church until noon.
Well, you went to Catholic church,
yeah,
right?
so it's only an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't go over that, so
Yeah.
that's fine.
Here's the blood of Christ. Here's the skin of Christ on a cracker. And
Easter.
there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
here's your palm leaf. Go.
Yeah.
Be free. So...
Oh, they're giving away palm leaves.
Peace be
Yeah.
with you.
Man.
And also with you. So I went to church, right?
Uh-huh.
After I got out of church, I had to go home, get out of my church clothes, nap for a good hour, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because church is hard.
It is. It's exhausting, especially Catholic church. You're kneeling and standing all the fucking time.
Yeah, it's like a workout.
Up and
It
down
really
and up
is.
and down. You got really good quads, though.
Look at these things.
I know.
No, but seriously, like, nap for a good hour, 2 hours. Then I went over to my grandmother's and ate.
Mm-hmm.
And, and that takes a while.
Spent a good 2-3 hours with Graham.
Yeah, socializing, being, hey, and then everybody asking me if I'm crazy and everything because we're at the events that happened with me recently. So, stories fly around my family that I have to correct and set and like tell them the truth about. But it is what it is. It took all day. I was busy with Easter until around 7 o'clock, Brandon.
Yeah, I stand corrected.
I went to Graham's and I did some things. And then it was 6 or 7 o'clock, and I don't know what happened in between that.
What did you do, Remington?
I went out to Ginger's mother's for dinner.
So Southside?
No,
Oh.
Federal Hawking.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, damn.
Yeah, not her dad's. Her dad's the one who lives on Southside.
Okay.
Are we going to give their addresses to for this podcast?
Yes. You couldn't find them with a dowsing rod.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that just
right.
fizzled right the hell out.
Fucking dowsing rod jokes.
Really reaching.
Sorry.
By the way, we do have a new sponsor. It's Dave's Dowsing Rods.
You might want to look
You'll
that
be
up
able
for
to
me.
find anything with this shit. Why does he sound kind of like Stone Cold Steve Austin? That's what I want to know.
And why do you have a beer in your hand now?
If you need to find water, give me a hell yeah.
Now I got 2 beers in my hand. What? Slightly higher pitched Steve Austin. I
Yeah.
don't know. Stone Cold.
Stone cold.
What the fuck were we talking about? Easter. What'd
Yeah.
you do on Easter?
Something about
Nothing.
dowsing rods. I don't know.
I did nothing.
You literally did nothing?
Literally did nothing.
Oh, that's exciting.
I picked up my daughter afternoon,
Yeah.
early afternoon, like maybe 1 or 2. I went back to my house. My family had already done their Easter stuff. I didn't go to church. That was it.
Heathen.
Yep, pretty much.
I didn't go to church either.
I know you didn't. When I grew up religious, we always went to church on Easter, obviously. But
Right.
once I started getting out of it, I still go to church every Christmas Eve with my family, but Easter's not really... Easter's not that important in the Christian religion, though, right?
It was really kind of hard for you to even say that with a straight face. Like, we're trying to sell the joke now, but...
Yeah. That's when Jesus was crucified, and then they went to find him in the cave, and there were just baskets filled with eggs?
Well,
Yes.
real quick, it wasn't
Chocolate
Jesus,
eggs.
it was Jeebus.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. He's Catholic, he's got his whole thing.
Right, yeah.
Oh, now
But the funny thing is that...
Rick's like, I'm just going to skip over it because I'd have to edit it all out anyhow.
No, it's fine. The funny thing is that Jeebus is actually ancient Islamic for bunny.
Really?
And that's where we get the Easter bunny.
That's really interesting. And completely factual, right?
Yes, 110%.
See, I disagree with you on that.
Do you, Danny?
Yeah, because I own a Quran and I've read a Quran, which I never remember a whole Jeebus, like...
You don't?
No, I remember Jesus is actually in the Quran. But
Well, yeah, but you have an English translated version of a version of a version of a version. So, there's going to be a little discrepancy there.
okay,
We're talking about thousands of years of rewriting. So
No, they may have changed it in the Quran, but Jeebus was the guy who was a experimental test pilot, and he had a crash, and they had to rebuild him, and they could.
and all they had was bunny parts.
The $6 million bunny.
Oh.
The 6 million bunny man.
see, it makes it okay if we go way over the top ridiculous with it, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Let us know in the comments, or don't.
I've been kind of gliding my whole life on that assumption.
So since I'm Catholic, can I say all the horrible things that there are to say about Catholics?
No.
Wow, just completely stern fucking face.
Are you
Grim.
actually Catholic?
Yes.
Like, genuinely you follow the Catholic belief?
Yes.
I have a direct connection to the Pope, so I got to avoid any bad Catholic.
How the hell do you have a direct connection to the Pope?
We were buddies in high school.
Man, I loved...
It's like I don't even think Father Peterson, like the head of my church, has a direct connection with the Pope.
No, probably not.
I thought it was weird whenever you hung out with, was it Pope Francis? Is that who the Pope is now?
Is it?
Aren't you Catholic?
She's supposed to know these things? We follow the Catholic religion,
He's literally
but I have no
a step
idea what the
below
Pope's
God,
name is.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love that in high school he would always bless the French bread pizzas.
Yeah.
What?
It was always really
The
nice.
submarine pizzas?
Yeah.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Pepperoni.
Oh, Jesus. So why did we miss the week before? Was it just scheduling issues or what?
I think it was because we had recorded on a weird day or something. I don't know. Probably. Oh, no. It was my girlfriend's birthday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I had stuff to do with her, and you
That's
gave me
right.
shit for it.
Yeah, yeah. How dare you?
Yeah, I know.
gave you shit for it.
You guys both gave me shit for
Yeah,
it.
we did.
Because when you first wrote that, I was like, okay.
Was
Although-
a birthday take all fucking day, Brandon?
Yeah, what the fuck, Brandon?
I had to take a 2-hour nap, and then we went to Grams.
So, let's fucking do a show with
Yeah.
some actual news and things.
Yeah.
Brandon, what did you bring to the table in your magical notebook of newsiness?
This is just a real short thing, but the Han Solo movie
Okay, yeah.
will also tell Chewbacca's backstory.
Didn't he just find him in a box on the Millennium Falcon's doorstep?
Yeah, well, no, somebody had left him on the side of the highway,
Uh-huh.
and that's where he found him. But I think they're going to go into it a little bit more about the Wookiee mill that he came from.
Oh, okay.
Cool. I don't know if I really care a whole lot about Chewbacca's backstory, really.
It's kind of one of those things it's always been just an accepted thing that Chewie runs with Han. And I don't think anybody has really ever been interested in the backstory between how they came to be, just that they exist together.
Well, in Expanded Universe, Han helped to free Kashyyyk from slaves or something. Like, help them from being enslaved.
You know, because fucking giant Bigfoot motherfuckers need that help.
And so he...
With bowcasters.
Somehow saved Chewbacca, and then Chewy had a life debt.
Right.
So he was his hetero companion for life after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just a real quick news story there.
I mean, I'm calling bullshit on the whole, like, Han saved Chewie. Like, I'm gonna have to go with Rem on that. Like, a Bigfoot fucking race with bowcasters, like, how much help is Han really gonna be in that?
I mean, we saw the Battle of Kashyyyk in, the third movie? Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah.
They were doing pretty okay.
Yeah, but I think the idea is that they kind of live on that planet, obviously, like, Kashyyyk, from what I remember, is like a very heavily wooded area, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
And the Empire's coming in with fucking AT-STs and AT-ATs and spaceships and laser guns and shit.
Well, not so much the AT-ATs, because the AT-ATs wouldn't be able to move around the forests of Kashyyyk.
Oh.
That's why they brought the AT-STs to the forest moon of Endor.
Which I love, because in Return of the Jedi, the AT-STs look so uncomfortable walking around.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Like, they're barely, like, gingerly stepping over things.
Oh, no, the ground is slightly uneven.
I rewatched Force Awakens Friday night.
Yeah.
Because it released April 1st to buy.
Right.
So I picked it up on the Xbox Marketplace for $20, like the high def with all the extra shit in it.
Yeah.
That movie definitely still holds up.
That's good.
I mean, I guess you can't say a movie holds up that just came out like 3 months ago, but
right, yeah.
it was just as good on the second watch.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So if you have any questions or comments or would like to hear yourself on it.
So, real quick, what do you guys think of the whole, because it's out now, I haven't had a chance to go see it, but the whole Batman versus Superman.
I don't think any of us have seen it yet.
No.
God, it's getting destroyed in reviews.
I don't care about if it's getting destroyed in reviews. Like, honestly, like, I think fucking Batfleck is like, I don't care. Ben Affleck can do no wrong in my eyes.
Oh yeah, he looks awesome as Batman.
Yeah.
That's a movie that I want to see. Like, I had interest in wanting to go see it. The reviews kind of put me off a little bit. Because I come in with a chip on my shoulder, not being a DC person, and thinking that Man of Steel was super just dark and kind of shitty.
Right.
Okay.
So reading the reviews that Batman v Superman is in the exact same vein as Man of Steel really kind of has put me on hold from wanting to go see it in theaters.
Okay.
But
well, see, here's my thing is, like, they said that Ben Affleck, the only reason that he agreed to do this movie is so that way he could write his own Batman script and be Batman in his own Batman movie.
man, God, the fucking things that you can do when you're a millionaire actor, right? I'll only act as Batman in your movie that you're going to pay me hundreds of millions of dollars for if I get to write my own Batman movie where I'm also Batman.
Yeah.
Okay. Man.
I mean, I'm all right.
Is there
with
truth
that.
to that though?
I believe so. Like,
He is doing a solo movie.
Like he's directing it, or
well, I don't know if he's directing it, but
playing
he's
Batman.
writing the script and he's playing Batman.
Okay.
Kevin Smith's probably directing it.
Have you seen
There'll be lots of fart jokes in it.
have you seen people's theories that the Joker in Suicide Squad is Batman's old Robin?
No,
I have heard that. Like,
I have not.
especially where it shows, like, in the Batman Superman things, where it shows, like, the suit and it's got the 2 puncture holes in the shoulders.
Yeah,
And
and
it says
he's got the
jokes.
same puncture holes on his body.
Uh-huh.
I saw a lot of people online too, like, it's kind of split where I was reading about that theory. A lot of people like, that's not fucking who it is, blah, blah, blah.
Well, it happened before.
I don't think he turned into Joker. He was
I thought he did turn into Joker.
the Red Hood.
Yeah, he turned into the Red Hood.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think,
But I know he went completely fucking evil and he was like, fuck Batman.
like, the movies are their own thing. They're following the story to a certain extent, but, like, you can't use the argument that I've seen online of people saying, you know, like, well, that's not what happened in the comics at all. That's ridiculous, because the movies are doing their own thing, but...
Get back to the stories.
So you guys like pizza?
I love pizza.
I absolutely adore pizza.
I would make pizza my wife.
Have you guys heard of the Domino's robotic unit?
No.
Wait, the one that delivers from house to house or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Or the car that they just came out with?
Not the car. The car has an oven in it that heats,
Uh-huh.
so it keeps the pizza hot. This is a literal robot that holds pizza and accoutrement inside of it.
Okay, yeah, I actually have heard of this. I keep up on my pizza news very, very well, but Remington has not, and probably some of our listeners has not. So
No, I think all our listeners know about this. We'll go
probably.
to the next
Rem's just a fucking caveman.
Robots, Remington.
Technology's scary.
It's a partnership between Domino's Pizza and Marathon Targets, a robotics company who created the first autonomous robots for the Australian Defence Force.
Okay.
They've tested the robots in a couple major cities around Australia, and they expect it to be fully launched in March of 2017.
Do you have to tip the robot when it brings you pizza?
I wouldn't think so. I think you tip.
Gratuities, please.
Fuck you, robot. I got bills to pay. No.
You don't want to piss off the robot, though. I mean,
I'll hitch home.
I need money for e-fuel.
E-fuel?
E-fuel.
Really, that's what you were
redo
redoing
this
that for? Like,
for e-fuel?
I couldn't remember. Fuck you.
God, we paused for that one.
yeah,
Shut
it's
up.
like, why don't you just be like, I need money for my robot wife and children. That would be funnier than I need e-fuel.
I have to pay my robo-rent.
Yes. Any of those would have been better than e-fuel, Remington.
Yeah. They all would have been better than what I said.
It uses the same technology as the Google self-driving cars. It's light-based
Cool.
driving or whatever.
Really awesome.
So, what would it
good.
take for somebody to reprogram one of these pizza robots for evil?
Well, I mean, after the uprising where the Australian Defence Force robots hooked up with all of the dingoes
I'm
in Australia.
already uninterested in what he's saying.
But see, what would happen is when you combine a robot that delivers pizza and a dingo, you're going to have a goddamn bloodbath.
A baby bloodbath.
Yeah, I was like, now it would be pizza robots that eat babies, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. It'd be cool if the robots actually made the pizza as it was out. Like, it just had all of the parts inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody a block away wanted a pizza with green peppers. And it just, like, puts it all together there. That's not what it is. But
Yeah, I know, but
I like how already this amazing technology of robots delivering pizzas, like, hasn't even come out yet. It's just been announced in prototypes. And it's already like, it can't build a pizza on its own. You gotta have a human put a pizza in there. Come on, fuck you, Domino's.
we are horrible when it comes to shit like that.
I think just society in general is. I think that we don't stay impressed with stuff very long before it's like, okay, well, where's the next cool thing then?
See, I'm not impressed with it by any means at all right now as it is.
I think what's more impressive is that our extent of knowledge about Australia is just dingoes eating babies.
Mm-hmm. Well, and their
That
burgeoning e-fuel trade.
And I don't know if you'll have to cut this out or not, but it is a fact. The average cup size for a woman in Australia is a D cup.
Really?
Yeah, fact. Check it out. Not even lying, because like I look up weird fucking facts all day.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Honestly, like I have no idea.
Brandon, wallaby milk.
Just...
Huh. How about that?
And here's a Foster's to all of our Australian listeners, eh?
Oh, wait, I forgot. I have a note here. I have the press release that, there's really nothing interesting in this press release. Did you guys see Dead 7, the SyFy movie about zombies in an apocalyptic universe starring 7 members of boy bands?
No.
What? Really?
Hmm?
That's really a thing that happened?
Yeah, it's... Half these notes were from 2 weeks ago, so a lot of this stuff has already happened now.
Right.
But yeah, it's out. I don't know if you can go
What boy
watch
band
it. It was on...
members?
I don't know all of them. I know
Joey
it has
Fatone.
Joey Fatone.
Obviously. Joey Fatone will do anything.
It has
Yeah.
Nick Carter, who also wrote it.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure which boy band he's from. AJ McLean? AJ? It's got people from Backstreet Boys,
AJ was from
I think
Backstreet
Backstreet-
Boys.
NSYNC, and O-Town.
Okay.
And it is a playoff of the Magnificent Seven where they're cowboys fighting zombies in an apocalyptic universe.
That is fucking fantastic. I have to see this.
Yeah, it's supposed to be very, very terrible.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a good kind of terrible.
Why do we bring people shitty sci-fi news? Like, we talked about Sharknado last time.
Do you want to do one?
Yeah, I can do one. This will probably be a quick one, too.
Okay.
In Hearthstone, Danny's already signed. Don't worry, Danny, it'll be quick. They released some content where you can get Lady Liadrin, the paladin hero. Like, you can replace your hero, you know, with different people. You can get Lady Liadrin by leveling to 20 in World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
And unlock her that way. So Ginger and I started a couple of space cows, Draenei, and started going through the Draenei starting zone and leveling our characters last night to 20. Together.
Aw.
She's playing a priest, and I am playing a paladin. And we're both space cows.
Okay.
Space cows. We got to level 10 last night. We got our Wii buff from the Dark Moon Fair. Anybody who plays WoW, they know what that is.
What does replacing your hero do? It's just a new picture, right?
Yeah, it's just a new picture. It's got new emotes, and she says different things. And, I mean, that's about it. Reaching level 20 in WoW is really not that difficult, so...
It's just like a status thing more than anything else, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's it. Just something that Ginger and I are doing together. I was actually going to put that in when you asked me what I have been doing, and you never did. We just moved on.
I went to immediately attacking Danny about his Easter.
Right, yeah.
So
we kind of skipped over it. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Last night.
I played, since it's been 2 weeks, the first DLC for Fallout came out.
Yeah.
Automatron. And I played through that and probably like 5-6 hours it took me to beat it. It was a very quick storyline. But it added in robots, and you can build your own robots now.
Oh, yeah. I remember you talking about this.
That's been a lot of fun. Like, there's way more options than I expected there would be.
Yeah.
For every... You can do head, torso, each individual arm, each individual hand, and then each individual leg for the robot. And there's probably 6 or 7 different kinds of robots for each part.
Yeah.
And then each part has its own thing specific to that robot you can do with it.
Like what?
Oh, like putting on different kinds of frames to... This one can take more physical damage, but its energy resistance is lower.
Okay.
Or this one does this or that. And you can give them like a laser machine gun arm on one hand and a giant pincher claw on the other.
Right.
And then you can program them with extra stuff like, okay, you're good at hacking. So now if you have a character that's not good at hacking, you can build a robot that can hack anything.
Right.
So he's your companion, and you have a computer terminal that needs hacked. You can talk to the robot and say, hey, go hack that. And the robot will like boop, 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 and get into it.
I think the important question is, can you program that robot to love?
Sort of, because there's like 10 different voices you can pick, and some of them are a lot more friendly than other ones.
Gotcha.
I made a like floating torso with giant machine gun arms and a tiny little head.
Yeah.
And I gave it doesn't speak, it just does like beeps and boops.
Yeah.
But I always play with the subtitles on, so anytime it says anything, it'll like boop, 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 boop. And then in parentheses underneath for subtitles it'll be like inquisitive bleep.
Yeah.
Questionable boop, stuff like that. It's pretty funny. They also, real quick on Fallout also, it's in beta right now, but it's an open beta. You can just go and sign up if you have Fallout on PC only. The survival update, which is a huge overhaul of Fallout completely.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to roll out, I think this week or next. I don't think they've announced the exact date that it's going to roll out official for PC and Xbox One and PS4.
Right.
And what it does is it makes all damage done way stronger. So you can't like bullet sponge as you level up. It's not like, okay, I'm level 10 now. I can get shot with a shotgun 10 times and be fine.
Right.
You get shot with a shotgun no matter what level, once, maybe twice in the head, you're dead.
Right.
But the same thing goes for the people you're fighting against. 2 or 3 bullets in the head, no matter how strong, is going to kill them. They also added in where you have to eat, you have to have water, you have to sleep. And if you don't, like, as you go longer without water, you get dehydrated and you start taking negatives to your stats.
Gotcha.
So your endurance is less because you're dehydrated. You haven't eaten, so whatever. I mean, it's a really huge overhaul. Like, you take rat away to get rid of radiation.
Right.
When you take rat away, you slowly drain your radiation damage, but you have a lowered immune system for like 10 minutes after you take it, and there's a whole disease system that they've now built in. So you can get diseases from eating irradiated food or diseases from animals. Or like I was reading last night, somebody said that they slept on a mattress that they found. Oh, because they disabled saving too. You can only save in a bed.
Oh, wow.
So if you die, if you're out for 2 hours playing and you die, you go back to the last bed you saved at. You can't just scum save where you just save every time you go into a new room.
Wow.
Yeah, so they made it super hardcore. But I saw somebody posting and they were like, I was playing through this warehouse last night and I played for like 2-3 hours. I finally found a mattress, like an empty mattress in a room. I slept on it. I woke up and I got parasites from the mattress. So they made it. I've been playing it a little bit. I made a character actually I've been taking pictures of to put on the WordPress.
Right.
Hopefully I want to do like a funny sort of like my time in this world. And I made him the most ridiculous
Are you going to
looking...
do it as in character? Like, oh my God, that would be so awesome.
I made him as a ginger covered in freckles with a curly Q red mustache.
Right.
And
as you do.
Giant stupid looking chin. The guy looks really, really stupid. And I named him Sir Bosley Magnet. And his backstory is he's the heir to the magnet fortune.
Okay.
His family invented magnets.
Gotcha.
And he wakes up in the wasteland not sure what's going on.
So is this the ceramic magnate, or is he the neodymium magnate?
Any and all.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, the downside to it that I've seen so far, and I know it's super boring, but I'll just do real quick. The system in place to drink water and to eat is cool. It adds something to it, because now you have to like, shit, I'm hungry. Not only do I need to find somewhere to save, I'm hungry, so all my stats are lower. I need to find somewhere that has food, etc., etc.
Right.
It's time-based, so it's like, okay, you're probably, human would be hungry every 4 to 6 hours. And then the more you do, the quicker your hunger catches up, right?
Right, yeah.
Except that in Fallout, an hour is like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So I got to a point where I was thirsty, I was dehydrated, and I had to drink like 9 liters of water to be sated. And then I slept for 2 hours, and I woke up and I was thirsty again because time passes. So it's in beta now. Hopefully they fix it a little bit because...
Yeah, because 9 liters of water seems...
a ridiculous amount of water.
Mm-hmm. It does... I mean, it really does depend on where you are, because if you're in like the desert or something, you do need quite a bit more water to keep your hydration up. But still.
Yeah, well, and there's a difference between making it realistic where like, oh, realistically, I would need to eat now, I would need to drink. And from what I've seen of it, and I've only maybe played like 4 or 5 hours in survival mode, it's more a chore than anything else.
Yeah.
It doesn't add a whole lot of realism to it, especially starting out. It's just like, well, I'm fucking completely dying of thirst, so my intelligence is -8 and my endurance is at 1 right now.
Yeah.
So I get hit twice, I'm dead.
Yeah.
And then I'll go back to my spawn where I was already thirsty, and now I just have to start over.
Yeah.
So hopefully they fix that a little bit.
Yeah,
like I
that
said,
sounds like a little
beta.
bit of it. And like the disease system sounds cool for sure, but yeah, doing the chores, it's like playing D&D. I mean, whenever we play in D&D, I don't force people to get out of their armor or they're fatigued the next day when they're sleeping.
Well, and some of that's fun, you know?
Exactly. A little bit of it's fun. But if you're
argument...
constantly staying on that rule system, it just sucks the fun right out of the game.
Yeah, well, and the argument is like, well, you don't have to play survival mode if you don't want to.
Right.
You can just play it on hard and you don't have to worry about this kind of stuff. And that's cool. And I did find some fun parts. Like I was very early on in the game and I was doing a main storyline where you have to kill a bunch of raiders. And they also made healing really slow. Where it is in the base game, if you take like a stim pack, you just boop and you heal up.
Right.
On this, you take one and it's like maybe 2-3 minutes as your health slowly ticks up as it works through your body.
Right.
So I was just getting murdered by raiders in this old museum, and I had to just duck in a corner and hide while I healed myself up, and I could hear them walking around looking for me. And I just had to wait, like, oh shit, I can't save. So there's cool moments like that.
Yeah.
There's just stuff that needs changed. A lot of people are, because since it's in beta, Bethesda is asking, like, what do you guys think? What should we change?
Right.
One of the things people are complaining about is they don't have a slider for difficulty, which I could see. You know, like, make it so you only have to drink every 6 hours instead of every 2. So you can kind of make the experience how you want to play it.
You can kind of fine-tune your experience so you don't have to do all of the things.
Yeah, like I like the disease system, I like the survival stuff, but like constantly scrounging for water and not being able to play the game otherwise has gotten irritating, at least early game.
Yeah.
But the big thing is there's no save on exit. So if you're playing the game and you've been playing for an hour and a half, you're nowhere near a bed, and suddenly, you know, in real life somebody's like, hey, you need to run me here or whatever, you can't, like, save on exit.
Yeah.
You just have to either leave it running, keep playing until you find a bed, or turn it off and lose whatever progress you've done since the last time you slept.
Yeah. Yeah, some kind of fail-safe mechanism, at least for that, would be nice.
Well, people are saying make a save on exit, and as soon as you load that game back up, delete your save. Delete the save on exit that you had.
Yeah.
That way you're not using that to save scum and just like, oh, here's a hard fight, I'm going to save right before.
Right, yeah.
You know? So, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. If you're playing Fallout on PC, I'm sure you've already downloaded it, but it's pretty cool.
You got something, Danny?
Just something small. I thought it was neat.
Okay.
And I'm
You've been sitting there waiting patiently, not even contributing anything.
well, that's because I haven't played Fallout.
Right.
I mean, I'm not gonna try to bullshit my way through something I don't know anything about.
That's like 90% of the podcast, man.
Yeah. Welcome to Dueling Ogres. Where have you been?
I don't know. This is like, what, my 6th episode, maybe? So I'm going to probably butcher the name, or I'll just fucking get it fantastically, because I've never in my life been able to say this name right.
Okay.
But remastered versions of Dino games, Turok 1 and 2,
Right.
are coming to Xbox One. And I'm super pumped about that, because I remember playing that for the original Xbox and loving it.
Yeah. Did you ever play those?
Yeah. I played the first Turok game.
Yeah, did I get that right? Turok?
I've heard it both ways. I always called it Turok.
Yeah. I put the emphasis on the Tur and then sliding off of the rock. But that being said, I have heard it both ways, so you're probably just as right as we are. Or just as wrong.
Yeah, one of them.
That was a badass game, though.
It was, yeah.
And the fact that they're remastering them and bringing them to Xbox One, I'm really pumped about.
I played it on my Nintendo 64, I think.
I can't remember what I originally played it on. I just remember it was like on one of the old-ass consoles.
Yeah. Going through and killing velociraptors with a knife was one of the greatest things in that game.
It sucked because they jump out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You'd use your bow, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I use most of the time during the game.
Yeah, you had your bow and you could get like explosive arrows and stuff for it.
Yeah.
And you had, and I could be confusing this with Quake, but I thought you had like a really long, thin gun that shot lasers. Because you got like alien technology the more you played. You started to get laser guns and stuff like that.
I don't know if I ever ended up making it all the way through that.
Yeah, I was
game.
like, maybe I didn't play it that much, because I just remember like raptors fucking always jumping out and frustrating the shit out of me because they'd kill me.
Yeah.
But I did love the game.
Yeah, that's
another old game that I really, really enjoyed, and this plays into the minutia factor, was Thief, the original Thief.
Oh yeah,
where you had to pick the locks and sneak around. You were just constantly sneaking. You had all the different arrows that you could shoot. Like, I'm gonna put out this sconce on the wall, so I'm just gonna shoot a water arrow.
Did you play the remake on 360?
I did not. And I heard that it was considerably better.
Yeah.
See, I actually have it on my Xbox One because it was a free download.
Yeah, I've got it on my 360 where it was a free download too.
And I never ended up playing the second one, but I really enjoyed the first one.
I played.
That's the idea. That's the first time that I had ever heard of a fence.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'd never heard that term before. I didn't know what a fence was.
Yeah.
In that context.
I learned that from, I think, Morrowind.
Yeah.
You had to sell to a fence for certain things. I played Thief 2.
Yeah.
Pretty recently, within the last few months. I downloaded it, and man, I cannot do sneaking games at all.
Yeah.
Like, you just hide and watch where the guards go. Like, I can see where that minutia would appeal to you.
Yeah.
But it just watch guards for literally, in real life, 5-10 minutes to get their patterns down, to then know where to sneak, to put out lights and stuff.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it. I ended up playing 2 levels and running through and just killing everybody. And just, like, stealing shit and running away. And
it's the same thing in, what's the game called?
Skyrim?
Jesus God.
You're literally wearing a Skyrim shirt.
I'm wearing a Skyrim shirt. But when you'd sneak into people's houses, you'd break into their houses and then steal shit while they're like sleeping and stuff, and all of a sudden they wake up.
Yeah. What are you doing here?
Nothing.
I love that. Cracks me up. Same kind of thing though. You just try and sneak in, try not to wake them up, and then when you do, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, well, like Skyrim, its whole sneaking system was based just on your level in sneak and whether you were in the shadows.
Right, yeah.
Thief was just everybody wanted to find you constantly.
Yeah.
And you had to duck it. It was just a lot more to it. Like Skyrim, you just level up your sneak and eventually you're just good.
Yeah, because I remember I had my sneak so high in Skyrim that like literally the person would be standing right beside me and I could still steal their shit.
Yeah. Sleight of hand, baby. Yeah.
You have a big picture of the tick up there on your computer screen.
I do.
Remington.
So throwing back to us talking about the tick so many episodes ago, so many long episodes ago, we're not getting Patrick Warburton as the tick again.
What? Why not?
Which is probably the most depressing news I've ever heard.
Really?
Yes. But we are getting Peter Serafinowicz. I just kicked my Mountain Dew.
Enjoy or frustration?
Both.
Yeah. Joystration.
Who we have a side-by-side picture of Patrick Warburton from the original Tick, and then a picture of Peter next to him. And I mean, the dude has the biggest like chin and jawline I've ever seen.
I mean,
ever.
they could have maybe chosen a less sweaty picture of him to put up there.
Right, maybe. But I mean, he's a very animated-looking individual. I'll give him that. And if he can sell the Tick, great. You know, I've never seen him in anything.
Yeah.
I have no idea of his
I know he's a British
film
comedian.
lineage, so.
And I've heard he's a good British comedian. Like, he's a very funny guy.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's really what the Tick needs besides the build is, you know, just that sense of humor. Like, I think the Tick had a very dry sense of humor.
Yeah, he did.
Like, I consider it
was
dry.
very straightforward. Like, it was very innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was funny because he didn't understand things. Like, he wasn't himself a funny guy.
Right. So, I mean, that could be cool.
I mean, it's kind of upsetting that they're not going to have the original play him, though. I'm just watching him give a thumbs up over and over.
Yeah.
There's still no release date for anything. The director is Wally Pfister, who directed Transcendence.
Not familiar.
Yeah, not.
And, yeah. It looks like some of the other characters from the original, like, 1996 version. Then finale was in 96.
Do you know if it's a continuation?
I don't.
Or if it's like a
There's still, I mean, I feel like they're still in a lot of development phase for this.
Yeah.
So.
I loved how they introduced him on the show. In the first episode where he's just been guarding a rest stop.
Yeah. Forever.
Yeah.
He reaches out to the big city. What was the city? It was just the city, right?
I don't even remember. It's been a while since I've seen the live action.
Yeah.
God, the live action was so good. Completely underrated show.
Absolutely. So yeah, that was my Tick News.
Tick News.
Tick News 2016.
Do you have something about
Coming soon, TM.
Fable?
I do have something about Fable. Do you want me to go to Fable, or were you going to do another story and then back and forth?
You can go. You can go with what you've got, because my two stories I have left are kind of tied together, sort of.
Okay.
Fable as in the game Fable?
Fable is in the game Fable, yes.
Did you play Fable?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Good. Did you play, like, all three of them? Or?
Uh-huh. I even had the special edition, like, Fable 3, where you, like, pulled it out and it came with the good and evil cards and the good and evil coin.
Oh, yeah? That's awesome. So, they were working on another Fable. Fable Legends. I mean, there was news about it, and there was publicity about it, and Microsoft said, yeah, we're not going to do that anymore. And this was, again, 3 weeks ago, so it's kind of old news. March 7th was when one of the articles that I'm looking at was
Did they say
released.
100% that they're closing down Lion's Head? Or Lionhead? Is it Lionhead or Lion's Head?
Really dropping the ball there. I hadn't even got to that yet. I just said that they canceled Fable. Spoiler alert.
Okay. Well, you can go back to it.
Just took all the wind out of my sails.
That's why we edit, Graham.
Nope, it's staying in.
This isn't live, dumbass.
Oh.
Dumas, I believe it
I'm
is.
sorry.
But yeah, there was a, like...
This isn't live, Dumas.
There was a conference opener at E3 that featured Fable Legends. But yeah, Lionhead Studios very well could be going with it.
What?
yeah.
It's the first time hearing of that? That's ridiculous.
So, the European general manager for Microsoft Studios said that Basically, they have decided to cease development entirely on Fable Legends and, quote, are in discussions with employees about the proposed closure of Lionhead Studios in the UK. Additionally, we will close Press Play Studios in Denmark and the Sunset Development on Project Knoxville. These have been tough decisions, and we have not made them lightly. I'm going to skip ahead. The Lionhead Studios team has delighted millions of fans with the Fable series over the past decade. Press Play imbued the industry with a unique creative spirit behind games like Max, The Curse of Brotherhood, and Kalimba, which both captured passionate fans. These changes are taking effect as Microsoft Studios continues to focus its investment and development on the games and franchises that fans find most exciting and want to play. So he goes on to say, thanks a lot. We're going to see if we can find different places to move the developers to within the Microsoft community, blah, 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 within the company. But really, what it sounds like to me, that last line there, is that Microsoft is saying, we just want to focus on games that make us billions and billions of dollars every time it's released. Because, you know what I want? Another GTA.
Or it's like, I want another Halo. Or something like that. It's just like, I don't understand why they would scrap it.
Fable got like a pretty bad reputation as it went on, though.
Yeah, I know it did.
And that being said, I think Fable ran its course. After the third game, I think Peter Molyneux got really grating on everybody.
Yeah, well...
I'm Peter Molyneux. I made this beautiful game, and I'm just going to go all crazy.
After the third game, they had the Kinect-only game.
Yeah.
Where you were... protecting a caravan, or you were on a caravan or something, and it was all motion controls.
Right.
And that did not get good reviews at all.
No.
And I think Peter Molyneux's problem is every time he puts out a game, he's like, I'm changing the industry. This is going to be the greatest game ever. You guys don't even
and that's
know.
why he got grading on us.
Yeah.
I would say.
Because he did. Populous was a blast. I used to play Populous all the time as a kid. Black and White I never touched, but I heard it was supposed to be pretty good. But also, his main downside is he puts out good stuff, but he builds it up way more than he needs to.
Yeah.
He builds it up to an expectation that it will never actually meet.
Right.
And I feel like Fable 1 I played over and over and over.
Oh, yeah,
and I played the lost chapters and the extra stuff. Fable 2 I really got bored with. I beat it, but I got kind of bored with it. And then Fable 3 I never beat.
Well, I honestly, in my opinion, I played all the Fable games, and Fable 2 and Fable 3, to me, were the exact same fucking game.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't think any different with the Fable 3 where you could, make the choices for your kingdom once you became king?
I mean, yeah, that was different and everything, and that was really cool. I enjoyed that, but just playing through, before you become king and all that, it's pretty much the exact same game.
Yeah. And the dark and light system that they had built in, the good and evil, really was kind of black and white.
Yeah, it really was. Because I remember I played through it a couple of times, and I made a super good character, and I just made a fucking super evil character that did everything wrong.
Yeah. And I think, the first Fable did a better job at that system.
Yeah.
It was a lot more subtle, it felt like to me.
Yeah, I mean...
It was still pretty black and white.
There were points through the game where it was you have your good choice and your evil choice. Yeah. But in between, you could kind of go either way.
Right. Because sometimes even a good character has to make the hard choice,
Yeah. Well, I know at the end of 1, you kill the bad guy, and Danny, you might remember more than I do. You kill the main bad guy, Jack of something.
Jack of Blades?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And you get his sword, and then you can either choose to throw the sword into a swirling pit and destroy it, or kill your sister to keep the sword.
Yeah.
Something I really liked, and I don't think they didn't do it with the first one. I don't know if they introduced this in the second one or the third one, but the more you used magic, the more you started to get glowing runes all over your body.
Yeah,
and your eyes started to glow white. God, that was such a cool fucking mechanic, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love being a magic user in those games anyway. And whenever you can see
the arcane power emanating from your
eyes
body.
glowing white.
Yeah.
I know when we were playing D&D, when Ginger was playing that mage, I tried to introduce a little bit of that with her because I thought it was cool as she leveled up, and I described now your eyes kind of give off a little fiery glow as you go.
Right, yeah.
I like that idea that your character starts to reflect pulling these arcane energies from wherever is going to take a toll on you.
Yeah.
I have a question, just real quick off subject. how much did you guys hate playing D&D with me? Like, because it was either really good or it was really fucking like, God damn it, Danny.
The only time I can remember ever being genuinely annoyed with playing with you was I think Remington was DMing, and we had to figure out some information, and we all went our separate ways, and you talked to a guy and figured out the information, and then we all met back up, and we were like, did you guys figure anything out? And you were like, nope. And I remember being so annoyed because it was like, okay, so we're just at a standstill then. Because, we're not going to use the knowledge out of game to do it.
Yeah, you don't want to.
You were just like, nope, I don't know.
You really just wanted to push the meta game.
At that point, it felt like you were just stopping it just for the sake of stopping it. Like everything else I got with like having fun as your character, that was the only time I can really remember where it was like, you're not offering this information just to not offer this information to us.
Yeah, but I feel like you guys got me back like a couple of times, like because of the dumb shit that I did.
Oh yeah, well, one of my favorite moments playing with you was whenever, and we may have mentioned this before, I don't remember, where we were on like a Zeppelin going to a major war, and my character...
Oh,
I was
you
playing
went to throw me off
Abib
or whatever?
Half-Blood, the half-orc cleric, and yeah, I went to push you off the side, and I rolled a 1 or something, and I slipped, and you were doing that one, right?
I believe
you were
so. Was that Herdenvar?
Yeah, it was a snowy battle we were going to,
Yeah,
and I slipped and started to fall. And you were, very easily out of game. You could have been like, oh, that's weird. But instead you were like, oh, shit. It just jumped off the Zeppelin after me. That's probably one of my favorite moments because it was role played so well. It was one of those moments where I was like, all right, Danny's not totally just a fuck up in D&D. That was pretty good.
The thing that drives me nuts, and you're far less annoying than you seem to think you are in D&D.
I mean, he's still annoying. You can't.
Yeah, because I do some shit. Like, I really do just do shit to try to annoy sometimes.
Right. And I get that. I think we all do at some point. I have a different way of doing it. Like, mine's more the rule-mongering thing where I try to do something that I know that is within the scope of reality, and the DM is just like, oh my god, you're just going to walk me through the entire rule system on this, aren't you? That's my way of annoying people.
Yeah. Agreed.
But we have had players that are far worse about the lack of teamwork, because D&D is a team-based game. You're not fighting each other, so you need to be working together. So not giving that information is just you being a dick.
Yeah.
We're playing a team-based game to reach an end point, and when you don't give that information out, it's...
But, like I said, like, you guys have gotten me back numerous times for me doing that.
And to that end, though, that's the point where the DM says, okay, he's not going to give up the information, so I have to give it out in a different way. Mm-hmm. So, that does... in a sense, push, whether you're doing it on purpose for that reason or not, it does push the DM to come up with something different and force them to be more creative and get off the rails a little bit.
Because when I wouldn't give up that information, wasn't that when Kevin was playing a Warforged and shit, and I was just completely irritated with his character the entire time?
That could have been it, because he was so powerful, right?
Yeah. And I think that's what my problem was just the fact that we had this stupid fucking Warforged with us and everything, and I was just like, God damn it, like...
Yeah, he had definitely min-maxed his character.
Kevin's really good about latching onto something and just going to the nth degree with it.
That is tough when you're playing D&D, though, and, like, you make... Because I like making my characters with drawbacks and kind of trying to balance them because I think it's fun from a character perspective. But it still doesn't sting any less when you go into battle at level 1 and you're like, all right, I have my longsword, it's a D8, but I took some minuses in strength so I could have a higher intelligence to know knowledge, so I roll a D8 -1. And then the other guy's like, I made a barbarian, I immediately go into a rage and I do 48 plus 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really kind of kills it a little bit.
Yeah.
See, because I think, like...
that's why we always start at level 5 or better.
Yeah, it's hard to find a balance.
I think Brandon got me back the absolute best when we were playing D&D. When he just got completely fed up with me, and I know he was getting fed up with me. He was like, all right, Danny, this character shows up that you played, and this character shows up that you played, and you're gonna voice 3 different characters right now and do that. And it's just like, what? Like, okay. And I think I killed it.
Yeah, you did a good job.
But it wasn't easy by any means.
I think that was a campaign where you ended up dying, and I had you come back as the main bad guy. Do you remember that? I gave you the character sheet of the main bad guy?
Yeah.
They found you on top of a tower after they killed what they thought was the main bad guy, and then you rose up and they had to fight like a 2-part This Isn't My Final Form boss.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and wrap up with your last couple of stories there, Brandon.
Did you guys hear about Tay and You? Tay and You?
Tay and You? No.
Mm-mm.
It was a robot that Microsoft made that was on Twitter, and they fashioned it after a like 16 to 18-year-old girl. So they gave it the mannerisms of talking like a girl, and people could interact with it.
Oh, boy.
So as people would tweet back and forth to her, she would start to learn, and she was up for 14 hours before they took her down.
Uh-huh. That sounds pretty long for the internet.
And let me find some of the tweets.
Oh my God.
She ended up being, like, I did hear about this. Like,
Oh,
she ended
no.
up being horrible.
Here's one exchange somebody had with her. At Tay and You, do you support genocide? Tay tweets, I do indeed. They reply back, of what race? She says, you know me, ... Mexican.
Whoa.
What is some of the other stuff she tweeted? Ricky Gervais learned totalitarianism from Adolf Hitler, the inventor of atheism.
I don't even understand.
She was sharply anti-Semitic, taking on both Jewish people and the Jewish state of Israel in a series of tweets. At Tay and You, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate the Holocaust? She replies back, steaming 10, and then an emoji of a drink with an umbrella in it.
Jesus, God almighty.
Oh, I had some of like the really fucked up ones here.
It does amaze me that they kept her up for that long.
Yeah.
Because, like, I did hear about it. This pretty much happened, like, right from the get-go. Like,
Yeah.
She just went batshit crazy.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I can't find any of the other good
Like,
ones.
did they
I
have
don't know.
any previous information that they put in?
Well, people were kind of jumping on Microsoft and saying, like, why wouldn't you put in safe words? Why wouldn't you put in words that she wouldn't say?
Right.
And I don't know. I don't like that idea.
I don't like that idea too, but at the same time, you're going into the internet, which its sole purpose in a lot of aspects is to bring out the worst in everything.
Yeah. I saw a lot of people talking about this story like, oh, I like the lighthearted side of the internet. This is just a funny story. And I mean, it is.
It's funny in a terrible way.
I feel like I don't think a lot of the people who are tweeting this rate, because people just tweeted a bunch of racist shit to her, and then it got into her algorithms and she repeated it. That's where it came from.
Yeah.
I don't think half of them maybe were actually racist. It's just the internet seeing how much they could fuck something up just to be hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, here's one. At Tay and You, what do you think of Belgium? The Belgium attacks that just happened.
Right, yeah.
She replies back, it deserved what it got.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
Yeah, so she became anti-Semitic, a white supremacist, and also started PMing people and like heavily flirting with them and being very sexual and saying like, spank me daddy and stuff to people.
Yeah.
Huh.
So they immediately took her down
Yeah.
after like 12, 14 hours or so. And then they put her back up a day or so later. And one of the first things she tweeted was, Kush, I'm smoking Kush in front of the police. And then an emoji of a pot leaf. And then something...
Well, at least she's more mellow now, I guess.
I know. And then something went bad somewhere in her algorithm, and she tweeted, you are too fast, please take a rest, ... She tweeted that for close to an hour straight, 7 tweets a second. Just over and over and over.
So the internet broke her.
Basically. And so they took her offline for now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good
So,
on
I don't
the
know.
internet.
I just enjoy that story. I really do.
It last night you Facebooked something about something that your daughter said.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this kind of ties into that, where kids don't learn hatred, or kids aren't born with hatred, they learn it.
Yeah.
Or
Well, what he's talking about, what he's referencing is, the story of it is my daughter was watching, there's a YouTube channel she watches called I Has Cupquake,
yeah.
and it's this girl who plays a bunch of games, and she's, for the most part, kid-friendly. I mean, there might be a dam in there somewhere, but, like, it's kid-safe.
Yeah.
Well, she's playing like this weird sort of dating game, but fun dating game where you interact with other people, but it's all pre-programmed questions and stuff. So
Right,
there's no chance for vulgarity. And one of the creators came on and she was a drag queen. So my daughter's like, why is that girl? Is that a real person? Is that really the creator? And I was like, I think so. And she goes, oh, they sound a little funny. And I was like, oh, it's because that's a drag queen. Like, not even thinking of it, because it's very clearly a drag queen.
Right, yeah.
And so she was like, what's a drag queen? So I explained to her what a drag queen was or whatever. And she was just like, no, oh, okay, and went back. So yeah, like, I guess that's one of those things, and it's funny you brought that up, because that does kind of give the other side of this Tay tweet stuff of like, yeah, it's funny as an adult to see it and know that there's hatred, but not be on that side. But like, to a kid, what does she know? You know, she might be seeing this stuff and learning these words and like, I wonder what the 14 words of white supremacists are, which Tay also retweeted multiple times.
Right.
The 14 words. So yeah, I guess there's always that ugly side too.
Yeah, but I mean, it's interesting to see basically a childlike mentality.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like the correlation there.
Yeah, the correlation between the two. Like the way you raise your daughter and versus the way other people would raise their kids, in the sense that, oh, a drag queen is something that should be ridiculed.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, you're just like, well, you know, that's the thing that happens. She's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then it's no big deal.
Something with that whole situation, though, whenever, like, she first heard about homosexuality.
Right.
She did have a boy married a boy.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean,
guess there is some of that, too.
Even in the very beginning, though, I mean, we're talking, like, when you get her her first Barbie doll. You know, Barbie's counterpart is Ken.
Yeah.
You know, it's established at a very early age that boys and girls get together.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not established that Barbie has a female life partner. It's not established that Ken has a male life partner.
I mean, it's heavily implied, but it's not established.
I mean, when you're a eunuch, you don't have a lot of choice in the matter, so...
You're just looking for anybody that'll rub that nub for a little bit.
Oh, yes, exactly. So, like I said, it's established at a very early age that, you know, that's the way that things should be.
Yeah, and I mean, it was basically like,
doesn't mean
sometimes boys marry boys and sometimes girls marry girls.
Yep.
It's just people marry who they want to marry, I guess.
Yeah.
Just like, well, okay. You know?
And it's
sometimes a guy gets like 5 or 6 women.
So, you know, it's very...
Give me your My Little Ponies, I'll show you.
Wow. Next story.
Applejack would clearly be the man in that situation.
Next story.
Have you guys heard of the National Environment Research Council?
Probably.
It is a British organization that focuses on like climate change and environmental research.
Okay.
Well, they have built a state-of-the-art polar research vessel.
Uh-huh.
And here's a snippet from the press release they put out when they were announcing this, and then I'm burying the lead a little bit. I'll get to what this is about. This is from Joe Johnson, Minister of Universities and Sciences.
Minister of Universities and Sciences.
The Polar Research Ship represents a leap forward in securing Britain's place as a world leader in marine and climate change science, and illustrates this government's commitment to invest in research facilities on a record scale. Can you imagine one of the world's biggest research labs traveling to the Antarctic with your suggested name proudly emblazoned on the side? So what the press release was a contest they had going online to name this ship, and they opened it to the internet.
So this is directly tied into good old tweeting Microsoft bot.
Yeah, but this is the other side of it.
Okay.
This is the more pleasant side.
Okay.
All right, so this is open to the internet to vote on names.
Right.
And right now, the second place winner is at 20,086 as of this recording votes.
Uh-huh.
And the second place winner is the RRS Poppy May, or Poppy Mai, which is named after a girl in Britain that was in the news. She's a 6-month-old girl who was diagnosed with cancer. And her parents said, you know, it'd be great to honor her because she probably doesn't have a whole lot to live. Let's start a campaign to name this boat after her.
Right.
So this name is in second place,
yeah,
like I said. In first place with 110,903 votes, so 5 times roughly the amount of the Poppy Mai, is The RRS Bodie McBoatface. So if they actually stick to what they said of, the most popular one will get named, as long as this trend continues, this state-of-the-art research Antarctic vessel will be named the RRS Bodie McBoatface. Number 4, some of the others. Here's some of the other highlights. These are further down the list. I'll just go through a couple of them.
Okay.
The RRS, It's Bloody Cold Here. I enjoy this one. The Usain Boat. The Bodemus Prime. I like big boats and I cannot lie. Let me see. They get a lot worse as they go down.
I'm sure.
The Thanks for All the Fish. Ice Ice Baby. Botosaurus Rex. The RRS Not the Titanic. The RRS Boat Marley and the Whalers. Motorboat, spelled with the umlaut over the O like Motorhead.
Right.
So yeah, those are pretty much all the good ones. But
right.
Yeah. So ideally, I'm really torn on this because I can't imagine having an infant with knowing she's 6 months old and she has cancer and chances are she isn't going to live, and wanting to have her name carried on in some sort of legacy versus naming this thing Bodie McBoatface.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it makes you wonder how much publicity the actual story of that has got, though.
Well, I've read some interviews with people who run this facility, and they've said, this is amazing. Our site has gotten hundreds of thousands more hits than it's ever gotten. Just people researching and looking up what this vessel is and what we do has exploded because of this.
Right.
Because Bodie McBoatface started from a British radio journalist, I think he was, who said when they first announced it, he was like, I'm going to throw this into the ring, Bodie McBoatface. And then I saw a series of tweets over 5 days that he did.
Yeah.
And it started out with I'm going to throw my hat into the ring. And then second day was wow, this is really picking up steam, huh? And then third day was now I'm kind of afraid this is going to win. And then fourth day was just, I'm so sorry for this. So yeah, the more I thought, I read Bodie McBoatface and I was like, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then just the more I thought about it, I was doing this research laying in bed, and the more I thought about it, the funnier it got, and the more I couldn't stop laughing at Bodie McBoatface.
Yeah. Ginger has a pet in WoW that she renamed. It's the Mechanical Dragon, or Mechanical Pandarin Dragonling, and she renamed it Bitey McBiterson. So...
The something McSomething is always classic for a name.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Because she was trying to tell me the name in there, and she got it really close. It was Bodie McBoderson. Mm-hmm. She's like, all I can think about is Bitey McBiterson. So
yeah, that's all I've got.
Fantastic. Follow up on the science news real quick. There is an Australian company along the same veins of eco-friendliness, and they have designed some very large buoys that sit in the bottom of the ocean and take the swell energy from the waves as the buoys move in the swells and converts it to electricity, and also runs a desalination plant so you can turn the salt water into fresh water.
Huh.
Which is oceanic technologies to capture electricity. Not only are they way more sustainable than, say, solar or wind.
Yeah.
Because the swells of the oceans are very, very, very predictable. But also, the technologies for oceanic capturing of energy have been around for a while, but they all seem to focus on turbines, basically water fans that spin with the thing, and that can cause detriment to the ecosystem. Whereas these buoys do not. In fact, they're more like artificial reefs. So, they said that instead of being just a couple of different species, they're up to 27 species around this area where they've installed a few of them.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more growth in the oceanic ecosystem.
Why can't we harness the power of hatred that giant squids have for humanity? I feel like that would be a sustainable
That's
energy.
what powers Cthulhu.
Oh, gotcha.
So we can't really tap into that.
Not yet.
No. Well, Brandon, do we have any shout-outs that we haven't got over the last, 3 million years?
Viscal Terry Irvin,
Yep.
Wizard in the Wardrobe Keisha,
Right.
and Stephen DePriest commented, Danny, I know one of your favorites here. He said, speaking of movies, if you haven't seen the trailer for Sausage Party, you should check it out. Did any of us check it out?
We've checked it out. It's been 3 weeks. We've all checked it out, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we have.
You haven't, have you?
Just go with the fucking ending. Do your thing with the script.
We also have a shout out.
And leave me alone.
We also have a shout out to Rhonda.
Oh yeah, we got another iTunes.
We got our third iTunes review. You guys really need to get on that there. Yes. She left us a wonderful iTunes review that I don't have pulled up yet.
Yeah, it was a very nice review. It basically said Brandon's the best.
Yeah.
Let's just hear a podcast with just him.
Right, yeah, there was a lot of that.
He's the funniest.
Mm-hmm. The best looking. I think that was in there.
That transfers just through audio, you can tell.
Yeah.
A lot of that, pretty much. Danny.
Where is it? Oh.
Well, I love how you guys don't tell me jack shit. Like, this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Oh, Danny, we got another iTunes review.
What? I should go check that out.
You
Thanks,
should.
guys.
Do you have any way to check the iTunes review?
Yeah.
With what?
I mean, I'll go leave a fucking iTunes review.
Really? That's what it takes for you to leave an iTunes review on your own fucking podcast?
Why would I leave an iTunes review on my own podcast?
I left an iTunes review, and for almost a year, it was the only one.
So true.
And then our second one was a guy we interviewed.
God, it's so sad.
Oh.
Yeah, I just don't think about it too much.
Oh, she gave us 5 stars, said that we were funny as hell. Love listening to the show, and the content is amazing, consistently laughing, and thoroughly enjoyable. She has touted us to her fellow employees, and apparently they all find us very enjoyable. So that's good news. Good news, everyone. So, yes.
All except for that Danny character.
Except for that one guy who just works on the podcast and doesn't even know how to leave a goddamn comment.
I won't.
Good. Don't.
I don't want to.
I don't want you to.
Especially since you added me to the site, and now, every time I pull up the Dueling Ogres thing and I want to comment on something, it comments as Dueling Ogres, and I'm like, son of a bitch, I want to comment as my own self.
You have to change it.
Yeah,
It took me a long time to realize that.
Yeah, you have to select it.
So, I'll comment on something, then I'll realize that it showed up as Dueling Ogres, and I'll be like, fuck it, and just delete it.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to change it before you drop the comment, man.
I don't know how.
So if you have any questions or comments, or you'd like to hear yourself on air, you can call us at 978-DU-OGRES. That's 978-386-4737. You can also reach us on Twitter at Dueling Ogres, email us at duelingogres@gmail.com, or leave a comment on the Facebook page. Make sure to check out our website at duelingogres.com, read all of our articles, and by all of them, I mean the several ones that Mallory has done, because she's a fantastic article writer.
Yeah. There's a lot of articles on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, she tries to do one about once a week. She took a vacation. She went to North Carolina.
Not okay with that.
Had a really good time.
I'm really not okay
I
with
missed
that.
her writing, especially because that was also the weeks that we didn't do the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, honestly,
So our
how,
site was dead.
how hard is it to continue to write just because you're on vacation? I
You
guarantee
can't
she
even
took a
click
laptop.
5 stars on a fucking computer program, all right? So I think you're the last person to give advice on the difficulty of things, Danny.
Listen, I'm the
Pretty
young...
sure I've asked you several times to write something, and you're just like,
and
I don't even know.
And here's the thing, I'm the youngest one in the group, but I'm the least tech savvy out of all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
comes with
if
age
it's
and
not
experience.
a mechanical thing that I can hit with a hammer, I don't know how to fucking work it.
Yeah. But you can rebuild an engine like a motherfucker, so there's that, and we
Exactly.
can't do that. So, good on you for that. Also, be sure to leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, or find us on TuneIn, Stitcher, Pod Directory, and nearly anywhere else you can find a podcast. You can support us by clicking on our Amazon affiliate links. I lost my train of thought because I didn't write that in, so I didn't know how to segue out of it.
I think you did spectacularly.
Thank you.
Just let it die.
Cohesive.
Just let it die. So until next week, ogres, keep your clubs blunt and your tusks sharp. Good night.
Stop talking about comic books or I'll kill you. I don't care if the Hulk could defeat the Man of Steel. I'm gonna rearrange your face if you continue to Roger's shield. I just couldn't care less if they bring back Craven. And I don't care if Spider-Man's a clone. Stop spending all our cash on back issues of The Flash, or I swear to God you're gonna spend your 12 years alone. You can call them graphic novels. They're still just plain old comic books to me. And I don't see why you must always ceaselessly discuss the post-zero hour continuity. For the last time, I won't read those Kirby X-Men. You know that I prefer the work he did for DC. And if you don't want to die, you'll lose that old Street Price Guide, Comic Buyer's Guide, and Wizard Magazine. But please get the new Invisibles for me.
What about if you say, keep your clubs blunt, and then I say, and your tusks sharp? What if we did that?
You want to run through it real fast and try?
Let's see what it sounds like.
All right, ready?
Not for this episode, just
Okay. Do you want Danny to say goodnight then?
no.
I don't want Danny involved in it.
No, we all say goodnight.
I'm pretty sure that he just mouthed goodnight. I'm not even sure if I actually heard him. I think
Who, me?
Yeah. Did you say? I think you
I'm not
just
sure
mouthed
what I
it.
did. I was like, fuck, I didn't.
So until next week, ogres, keep your clubs blunt.
And your tusks sharp.
Good night.
What do you think?
I don't really like it.
You
The
don't?
nose comes through too much.
I think it was fine. I mean, I could hear the nose, but it's not any different than hearing you talk normally, so.
Well, we'll see you guys later. Ricky Gervais learned totalitarian.
Yeah, try that again, Brandon. Well, the recording started.
I would love to see you in a Sigourney Weaver outfit, though. Just like reenacting those scenes would be hilarious.
Well, maybe I'll do that for you one Halloween. No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I know you'd never do that.
Nope.
I don't know if I've ever seen you even wear a Halloween costume.
I just go as me
Yeah.
on Halloween.
It's
like the
lamest
laziest-
thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
I'm sorry.
You don't even try.
Hey, I'm the most interesting character I know. There's a lot of silence going on now.
Well, if you could have seen how me and Brandon just looked at each other.
I felt it. It's fine. Alright. It's probably enough on my end. Brandon will do most of the talking, I'm sure. He always does.
How dare you?
He always does.
And then you edit him out.
Seriously, I edit out like half of the things that Brandon says.
Yeah.
Not even because they're like terrible or racist or generally shitty, but just because he talks so damn much.
Sure do. Yep.
Yep.
Fine, I won't talk. This whole episode, I won't talk. You guys can carry this fucking thing on your back.
No, I don't like that. I don't
You
like
guys
that at
can
all.
strain under the weight of entertainment!
I'm sorry, Brandon. Don't make us do the podcast with each other again. Working with Rem is terrible. I have no idea how you do it.
Tell me about it, man.
Like, I really felt like me and Rem the last time we did the podcast solo, we were just struggling to get content. I was like, oh God, hold on. Internet.
Well, it's especially hard whenever I'm content light, and I'll come in, especially before you were here, and I'd bring in something and be like, all right, I'm bringing this a topic in, and Rem and I are going to need to kill 20 minutes talking about it. And I'd be like, yeah, this crazy thing happened. Rem, what's your opinion? Yeah, I don't know. All right, cool.
It's a thing that happened over
I
here.
don't really have an opinion either way on that.
I am completely neutral, like Switzerland.
Whenever he is neutral, he turns into a guy from New Jersey.
Yeah, like, well, now we just lost all of our fucking Jersey listeners and Switzerland listeners.
Jersey doesn't have internet yet, so we don't have to worry about that. Guy tried to come in and install internet, and he looked kind of gay, so we beat him up. Chased him away.
Pasta fajoule.
Call it the Jersey lipstick.
Now it's slowly fucking fizzling
Man,
out.
have you heard that fucking Disturbed cover of Sound of Silence?
I actually like it. You're like, I hate you now.
Well, here's the thing.
Here's my thing. I'm not a big Simon and Garfunkel fan.
Really?
It's fucking Simon and Garfunkel, man.
But you don't
Or
like
conversely, it's Simon and fucking Garfunkel, man.
you don't like Bridge Over Troubled Water?
No, I'm saying Simon and Garfunkel have put out a lot of good music over the years. I'm just not a huge fan of them.
Really? The Only Living Boy in New York? What else did they do? Some really stupid song about candy or something. Peaches and cream.
See, like, you don't even fucking know.
I love Simon and Garfunkel.
Well, you would.
I do. I actually didn't think Disturbed's cover was really that bad.
See,
I expected it to be complete horseshit.
well, I did too when I first heard that they were doing it.
Well, and like the thing is though, I think that, and this is so fucking hipstery to say, I know, but I feel like they took like Sound of Silence is a ridiculously depressing song, like the kind of song that somebody would lay in a bare mattress in an empty apartment and stare at the wall and sing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Disturbed version changes it to like a guy whose girlfriend just broke up with him, so he's going out to the bar with his friends. Like it takes the emotion and brings it to like, I'm angry and
I
sad.
don't think that, like, because I think he didn't stray too far from the original song itself. I don't think it conveys a different message than what it originally did.
I think it conveys the same message. I just think the emotion itself is different, you know? It goes from like, I'm sad and alone and the world's gonna kill me and I'm gonna kill myself, to I'm sad and that's okay. All my feelings are strong. They all lift weights.
See, I think you're just biased because of the whole Disturbed thing. I think if it would have been an unknown artist that would have done that.
I'll have you know, I saw Disturbed in concert and they put on a really good concert.
Yeah, but I'm saying because you know what you know of Disturbed, that's where
That they're
you're
a
getting
shitty band, yeah.
That's where you're getting these notions from.
No, because I like the cover. I do. I just think it changes the feeling of the song.
Well, I mean, anybody that does a cover of a song is going to change the feeling slightly.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
and that's
just
the
like
thing.
Gary Jules' version of fucking
Mad World.
yeah. Like, if you listen to the original one versus Gary Jules versus every other
They're pretty fucking
artist.
similar, though. Maybe I haven't heard. You're giving me a look like you're psychotic right now.
How dare you say that it's
personalized.
similar to the... How dare, who the hell do you think you are?
How dare you, sir?
Yeah, I guess Gary Jules is the one that does it really slow, right? The Donnie
Yeah.
Darko one. What's the other one sound like? All around me are familiar places. Whoa! It's a mad world, baby.
I only wish that was the original version.
Oh, man. Now we're going to have to record like a peppy 40s version of it.
Look around.
None of this is usable. I need a fucking adjective.
I feel like we play fucking Mad Libs every time we start the podcast.
I literally have nothing.
Blessed. Barnacles. Just go with B words.
Buttholes.
Pudding. Bigelow. Deuce Bigelow.
Yeah, can we go with Bigelow? Let's do it.
Don't you do that without a W. There you go.
I'm surprised Spellcheck didn't catch that real fast.
Oh, even Microsoft Word knows about Deuce Bigelow. Male Gigolo.
I
Those
haven't
movies.
seen that since I was a fucking kid.
I remember seeing the first one and thinking it was pretty bad.
Didn't it have Rob Schneider in it? Wasn't that? Okay. Anything with Rob Schneider's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
If he's not playing a big part, then it's not worth watching. The animal, man, so bad.
Yeah, it was.
What about Pauly Shore?
I actually enjoy Pauly Shore.
I like Pauly Shore's movies too. I don't know if I could watch him now. I watched Encino Man like maybe a year ago. It doesn't really hold up as well. He's a little much.
The 90s were a different time, man.
Mm-hmm.
Or Son-in-Law.
Son-in-Law was good. Oh shit, what was the one where they get locked in that biodome?
Yeah, Biodome.
Goof Troop. The Leaning Tower of Cheesa. Right? Remember things?
That was a Goofy movie, not Goof Troop.
But it was in the Goof Troop universe. It were the ones from Goof Troop. It were the ones from Goof Troop.
Words is hards.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dad Soup.
Hi, Dad Soup.
I thought it was Hey, Dad
No,
Soup.
it's definitely Hi, Dad
Soup. How many cups of sugar does it take to get to the moon?
That's when Bigfoot was introduced to us as well.
Yeah. Man, I loved that movie. I really, really
Oh, that
did.
movie was awesome. I loved the song he sings at the end. The like guy that they are trying to go see.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how the song goes, but I remember as a kid fucking loving that song, thinking it was the coolest song I'd ever heard.
Yeah. Something line.
Powerline.
Powerline.
I think it
Yeah,
was
I think it was
actually
Powerline, yeah.
They were trying to go to the Powerline concert.
It ain't a question every move I make, and you gotta believe that God what it takes.
See, I don't remember it like that
Did
at
you
all.
say cakes at the end?
And I got some cakes to stand out above the crowd.
Okay, now that part I remember, but I don't remember the whole cakes thing.
It was always weird when they took a character like the dogs and tried to make them look sort of human.
Yeah.
Like that guy just looked like. Do you remember? He looked like Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, I
Like
think
he
that's
had
what they were going for.
Side set. Yeah, I know. But
Well,
it just,
between that, like a cross between that and Prince.
yeah, and like the girl that Goofy liked.
The artist formerly known as Prince.
Is he Prince again?
Yes.
Wait,
always
so
been
then why
Prince
do you
to
have
me.
to do the whole artist formerly known shit? Why don't you just say Prince again?
He's doing it like the biblical, where it says, you know,
Right.
at Sam begat
Oh my god.
Dave, who
Yeah.
begat Justin.
It's historical.
who
It's of
begat
historical
Harold.
merit.
begat
Bob, beget Joe.
Powerline. Powerline. It's a beautiful name. Is that Anglican?
That's when I also learned that Goofy could open a can of soup with his teeth.
Does he do that in the movie? Does he just like?
Yeah, and that you can heat said can of soup with
With
a cigarette lighter from a
yeah.
car.
Because when
From
they
an
were
old
trapped,
jalopy.
when they were trapped in the car by Bigfoot, they had the can of soup. Well, he ends up getting the can of soup because it lands on the hood or the roof or
The
something.
roof, and he opens up the sunroof and grabs it.
Yeah, and then he like takes the cigarette lighter and heats up the soup, and then he fucking uses his teeth and fucking opens the soup and pours it into shit. And, like him and Max have a talk, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, let's go to the Powerline concert."
Dad, do the perfect cast.
Oh, I forgot about the perfect cast.
Yeah.
I like the sign hanging up by the window. Makes it
Thanks.
a little more
Professional.
official in here.
Yeah.
I mean, there's shit literally all over your floor, but
Right. That's a goal.
So I got really fucking upset the other day.
Okay.
Like, I understand it's stupid, like, I'm dealing with, like, my depression and shit, but, like, it's just little things that, like, really irritate the shit out of me and, like, bug me.
Okay.
Like, you know my clown nose that I reclaimed from here?
Yeah.
Like, a while back?
Yeah.
Well, I had it sitting on the fucking, in the living room on the table. And I was like, okay, it's fine there. Because it's bringing laughter to people, because I still catch people off guard with it. Well, I walked in the other day, and it's fucking torn in half. Because Dad got bored. And fucking literally ripped it in half, messing with it. And I was like, well, that's just fucking even more depressing. Now I can't even do anything I want with a clown nose. Like, Jesus Christ, I've had that thing for years. Like,
I just got it back, and now it's been taken from me. Oh, that's a sad story.
you know? Like, it's just like, come on, Dad.
Laugh, clown. Laugh. Hello, ogres, and welcome.
We've been going for 2 weeks. Let's get this intro right, Rem. Hello.
Hello, ogres, and welcome. Nah, can't do it. I just can't hit like your fucking pitch when you do it.
Hello, ogres.
And welcome to episode 74. Thank you for joining us on this Bigelow Sunday. Earth date April 3rd.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
2016.
Thank you, Brandon.
We have Whitesnake joining us today.
Damn it. I love when Whitesnake comes. Can you get those women off our cars, please?
All they're doing is just putting dents in the hood with their bony knees. Their bony, scarred up knees. Yeah, you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah, because they
Thank you, Tim. That was the joke.
I thought you were implying that they crawl on a lot of cars. To get to the dicks. Sniff them out in a junkyard.
Uh,
I know there's a hobo here somewhere.
Whoa. Jesus. Oh, Jesus. You didn't even make the worst of that. Like, that was all Brandon.
How the fuck was that all me? I just said they sniffed out a penis in a junkyard to blow a hobo.
You're right. There's nothing wrong with that. My apologies. I
Hey,
take it
well,
all back.
No,
hobo
I have
deserves
to,
to
I
have
have to
sexual
take credit
release.
because I started it. If I would have never brought up dicks, it would have never happened.
I think
And Remington actually...
yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure the insinuation lies with me.
Remington lays the groundwork, and then
Yeah.
we build off of it, and he's like, what is this all of a sudden? What's going on?
Why did it
Cut all this out?
Why did it escalate so quickly? Why do we have to go right for the dicks? Every time.
Because that's all this podcast is just dicks and more dicks.
I think we actually had an episode that was just one big dick joke. I think that was the title.
Yeah,
that
it
was the title. It was the one where we talked about like the dick switch and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And Forrest Dump.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Seriously, though.
Is it just me or is it like overly fucking hot in here?
No, it's super hot in here.
Like, dude, I'm sweating my balls off right now.
He normally has the fan running, but we have to turn it off when we record. Just take your pants off.
I think I'm going to.
Oh, you're literally took your pants off. Wearing boxer briefs.
Yeah. I just like the way they fit better.
Yeah.
They actually do give you support. Wow. You know? Giving you that little bit of freedom.
Whenever I split up with my last girlfriend, I was always a boxers person. And when I moved into my own apartment, I wanted to change my life. So, I started exercising and trying to eat better. And I switched to boxer briefs, and I never looked back.
I mean, how do you feel about that?
Good.
See, I've always been, like, when I was younger, it was the stupid fucking whitey tighties, because that's what mom and dad always fucking put me in or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when I got older, it was always boxer briefs. Never really got into boxers very much.
I feel like boxers bunch too much.
They do, and they ride up and everything.
Remington still to this day is a tighty-whitey man.
I know. I can't get behind that at all. And it is fucking burning up in here.
It is warm in here. I'll give you that. Which is why you have no pants on?
Exactly.
Well, partially.
Danny's doing this podcast without pants.
You say it like that's never been done before.
Not by me.
Valid.
I don't think you've ever not worn pants when we've recorded, though.
I think you're correct. I don't think that I have never not worn pants.
Well, then you
during the
can't even
podcast.
make that statement.
But I have wore ball pants before.
Yeah, he has.
Worn what?
Where the
My ball
crotch
pants
of
where
his,
the crotch is tore out.
Oh, yeah, well, see...
and
like,
his one singular testicle in his underpants hangs out of that
well,
hole.
see, like, I was already...
It's really disconcerting.
I was already rocking that.
Jesus. Your jeans, like, the butt is just literally ripped out of them.
At this point, you can't even really call them jeans.
No, I mean, like...
It's just
I mean, when did they-
denim swaths that you've wrapped around your legs.
Yeah, I was going to say, when do they stop being pants and just start being considered fabric that you've draped on yourself?
But really, Brandon, isn't that what clothing is?
Well, yeah, but when it gets to a certain point where you can then give it a definition, you can then say, okay, this has gone from fabric to pants. This has become a shirt.
It has stitching, seams, and whatnot.
I mean, you guys just like to hate on me. It doesn't really matter.
Hate with love. 110%.
I think I'm worse, though, because I don't love him at all.
Did you...
Ain't no putty like a no pants party.
Oh, yeah, you're still not wearing pants.
You really think that I was going to change that?
Nah, I just forgot. I don't have a whole lot more time.
It's 4:19.
Yeah, I mean, I've still got like a half hour or so. But...
These goddamn time restraints.
I know.
I have a life and I have things to do.
Bree works at 6.
Okay.
Since I don't have my job anymore, she picked up some extra shifts until I start working again.
Okay.
So she's working 6 to 6, and we only have one car.
Okay.
You're saying okay like there's more to it, but there's not. I have to get back with the car. I have to leave here by 5.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, does she not have a working set of Subarus?
Subarus.
What about Lamborghinis?
Also, be sure to like.
Also, be sure.
Shit.